I'm going to show you how to make pumpkin puree using raw pumpkin in the Instant Pot. In the past, we've processed pumpkins to make pumpkin puree in the oven. That worked fine, but it took a lot of energy and was a little bit messy. We found a better way. No matter how you process your pumpkin, you gotta get the pumpkin cleaned up to get ready to cook it. This is the method I've been using lately, and it works out really well. I take the top out just like I do if I'm going to make a jack-o'-lantern, and take these seeds, strip those off, and throw them in a bowl. I'm going to do the same thing on the bottom. We'll get that out in a minute. Now I'm just going to cut the pumpkin in half, down one side, down the other. There are a few bad spots. We'll cut around those. We're going to clean the seeds out because we're going to keep those and process them separately to make pumpkin seed powder to put in the pantry. Bad spots, tops and bottoms, can either be added to your compost or given to your chickens. With this method, I'm not terribly concerned about getting all the stringies out. They process pretty well. I do, however, want to try to get some of this rind off. Once I cut this into quarters to make them more manageable, I'll simply use a peeler, like a carrot or potato peeler, to start stripping that rind off. It doesn't have to be perfect. There's nothing wrong with that rind, and once it's cooked, it'll blend right in. Again, that skin, the skin of the pumpkin, can be given to your chickens or put into your compost. We're going to cut the pumpkin into smaller pieces in order to fit into the Instant Pot. Right there, that's about the size of pumpkin chunks that you want for your Instant Pot. Now we're ready for the star of the show, which is the Instant Pot. We're just going to load it up with our pumpkin chunks. One of the drawbacks to using the Instant Pot for pumpkins is that you can't do an entire pumpkin at a time, but the process overall uses less energy and is a lot cleaner. You can be cleaner. The Instant Pot likes a clean rim, so we're going to wipe that off with a paper towel just to make sure we get a good seal. The pumpkins will produce a lot of liquid on their own, but the Instant Pot will get too hot at first and it can burn the bottom of the pumpkin. So we're going to add about a cup of water. Securing the lid, we're going to put this switch toward the back. We're going to use pressure cook, and I have it set to 1 hour. We experimented with different times on the Instant Pot for the puree, for the pumpkin puree, and what we found is cooking it on high pressure for about an hour works out pretty well. Once this is finished cooking for 1 hour, we'll come back and I'll show you the rest of the process. After the timer goes off, it will start counting up in minutes as the Instant Pot keeps warm. In order to open the Instant Pot, we'll hit cancel and flip this forward to release the pressure. Once that pressure is low enough, we'll be able to twist the lid off. Now that the steam has stopped coming out, there's no pressure left in the Instant Pot. We can twist the lid off. Nice little musical tone there. This is very hot, be careful, but we're just going to drain the liquid off. I told you the pumpkins would make a lot of their own liquid. At this point, you have some options for processing this. Since we primarily use this for dogs on dog food as a food supplement, We don't care to have it to be a perfectly fine puree, so we just process it in the standing mixer. Just with your paddle mixer, paddle blade, just put that on here and it'll mix up on low speed into a beautiful puree. If you need a really fine puree with no strings or lumps or anything, you may want to do this in your blender. Look at that. That is beautiful, healthy, nice pumpkin puree. At this point, you have some options for how to store it. Now, we freeze most of it. We put some in the fridge directly to use over the next few days, but most of it gets frozen. You have some options for freezing. One is to freeze them in glass jars, which we do. Leave some headspace for expansion. Another option is to freeze them in baggies. It's really helpful to put them on a flat tray and freeze them flat so you can stack them up nicely in the freezer. Another option would be to fill up some ice cube trays. Once those are frozen, you can crack them loose and store the cubes in baggies in the freezer. That is gorgeous. Now that's going to work out really well for us as a dog food supplement. Like I said, if you need to blend it further for your own, like pumpkin pies or something, you can do that in your blender. Overall, the Instant Pot has made this process a lot cleaner, a lot more fun, and even though it processes smaller batches, I believe it uses a lot less energy. So that's my tutorial on how to make your pumpkin puree with your Instant Pot. If you have other ideas, please share those in the comments below. I had a friend of mine already tell me that she uses a similar method but then processes it further in her dehydrator and makes pumpkin powder. We've done pumpkin powder before and it is a really nice addition to the pantry for your soups and stews or whatever other recipes you like to have a pumpkin flavor. If you like this video, please share it with your friends and family. I will consider that a compliment and a gift. Thanks for sharing this time with me here in the Daddykirbs kitchen. I'll talk to you soon. I want to be able to put that on. Okay, ready?
Mm-hmm.